Alright, we got our Apex to RZR 900 XP motor mount kit. This is just kind of go over the kit. So what you'll get with the basic kit is you'll get the cradle, solid motor mounts, bolts, motor mount bolts, bottom brace, bottom motor mount for the brace, and front cradle braces. So these are basically going to get welded on here once you have your motor in position. This is going to get welded under your buggy, onto your chassis. Something about like this is where it's going to sit. And then this is going to ride right here to mount your motor mount. That is right here. So the first thing we'll do is we'll just start and bolt our cradle up to our transmission before we put our motor in. So on this we're going to do, to start to check our offset, we're going to start with one shim on each side, and we can change these shims to change the offset of the motor depending on what clutch you want to run. Alright, so now with our mount attached to our transmission, we're able to shim it side to side by moving our washers on all the sides. So if you got to move it, you move all the washers to the other side and vice versa. So that makes that nice. All right. With the new style transmissions here, they don't have the adjusters on them. With the older style transmissions that has a bolt that adjusts, you don't have to use this shim, and you can just tighten your adjuster and then just shim it with the adjusters on this side. Alright, so now that we have our transmission and our cradle together, we're going to go ahead and take our engine. We're just going to use the mock-up block for now. And we'll just go ahead and set it on in. Okay.
Wait a minute. Go ahead.
Okay, so now with our engine, you notice we've pulled our stock motor mounts. We're going to be installing our OSP solid motor mounts, but you want to wait to install these until you're putting it into the cradle, because it's a lot easier to get all these washers and everything on here when it's out of the cradle. So we're going to start like this. This is going to slide through here. And so you know, the longer rod goes in the front, shorter rod goes in the rear, and it's the same on the front and the rear with the washers and the spacers. So we're just going to get our engine picked up somewhat in position here. Washers, motor mount, and the motor mounts are installed with the notched end facing towards each other. So this notch will go on this side, this notch will go on this side, this notch, this notch. That's an important step there. And if it's giving you a little trouble, you might just have to loosen your adjusters a little bit till you get it all slid in. Alright, so now we got our engine setting in our cradle, and we're going to go ahead and just put our clutch keys on. This is an STM clutch. If you have a stock clutch, you'll just use your whole clutch. And then we're going to put our tool on. It's going to do the offset and the thing. So as you can see here, center is off right now. So we're going to adjust our motor mounts to make our motor alignment correct. So basically what we're going to do with the adjusters is you have to move the front and the rear together. So if you want the whole motor to be moved forward like we want, we're going to push on the backs, we're going to loosen the fronts until we get our motor to where we want it, and then once we're where we want it pushing from the back, then we'll tighten the fronts into it, so then that way it'll snug it up. And the same with the up and down too. We can adjust the bottom by loosening the top and tightening, so the opposites. Alright, so once you're happy with your alignment here, the way we've used this tool, push it tight against the back and then fall right down, and that'll be perfect offset and alignment. So as you can see here, we got all three of our tangs touching perfectly onto our motor, and then that's going to show that we're in perfect alignment and square. So now, once we have all of this happy, we're going to go ahead and make sure all of these are tight, tighten all the jam nuts, and then we'll go through and tighten these bolts, and then the engine alignment will be complete. Now you're ready to set this whole assembly into the buggy, and a few tips for doing that is bringing the transmission down first and then setting the front in, and then using this side edge of the mag cover here, aligning it with the straight edge of the chassis, and then that'll get your engine in alignment straight into your chassis. And then once you have that, then you can tack this and then check everything for all your clearances and everything.